Hello. Today I'd like to share with you one of my favorite standing flow practices that bring in many of the warrior poses. So first come to the front of your mat. I should say it can be handy to have a block for this pose if you feel that your hamstrings are a little tight, or a chair could be helpful. But have your feet hip distance apart and parallel, and on your inhale, draw your arms up, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up to a flat back, lengthen through the crown of your head, and exhale, lower down. Bend your knees as you need to so you can get your hands onto the floor. On your inhale, step your right leg back into a lunge, and on your exhale, step your left leg back, push your hips high. Inhale, forward to a plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down. Feel free to lower your knees first, then point your toes, draw your belly in. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, push your hips high into downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg straight behind you. Exhale, draw it forward into a lunge, or bring it as far forward as you can. Inhale, bring the left leg forward, ground down your feet on your exhale. Inhale, up to a flat back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left leg back into a lunge. Exhale, step your right leg back, push your hips high into downward dog. Draw the shoulders down your back. Inhale, forward to a plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down. Again, feel free to lower the knees, then the torso. Point your toes, draw the belly, and lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, lift up to baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, push your hips high into downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg straight behind you. Exhale, draw it forward into a lunge. Inhale, bring the right leg forward. Ground down the feet on the exhale. Inhale, up to a flat back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale to heart center. Nice. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up to a flat back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step your left leg back into a lunge. Bring your hands onto your right knee. Ground down your feet by drawing them together. Tone the belly and come up. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Draw the navel into the spine. You're lengthening the tailbone down to the heel behind you. Breathing here. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale up. Exhale, circle your arms. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. On your exhale, spin your back foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat, and your arch and your heel line up. Roll your shoulders down your back gently. Draw the belly in, lengthening the spine. Check that your hand is over your leg and back, and your hand in front of you is over the knee. And you can see your big toe to the inside of your knee. So we're not allowing it to roll in. We're keeping it open here. Breathing here. And then exhale, circle your arm. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale. And feel free to follow your hand with your gaze if you like. Just give your neck a little warm up here. Inhale up. And then exhale, take your hand on your leg. Reach up with the right hand. Roll both shoulders down your back. Take a nice big breath into your right side body. And then inhale up. Exhale, bring your elbow onto your knee. Stack your shoulders. Reach through that left side. Ground down with the left foot. Tone the belly. Reach through the crown of the head. Breathing here. Inhale up. Come into your warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Turn your knee so it's facing towards your toes. Let your hips shift back. Reach forward and exhale. Lower the hand down onto your shin or your knee, or you could use your block here and raise your hand up over your shoulder. Think of lengthening through the crown of your head, trying to bring the back of your head in line with the back of your pelvis. Breathing here. And then bend into your knee, bring your hand onto your hip, shift your weight forward onto your front leg. And here's where you can use the floor, or if you like, you can use a block at different heights. Bringing your hand onto the block, onto the floor, whichever works for you. Draw the belly in, reach your heel right behind you, stack your shoulders, try to stack the hips, lengthen through the crown of the head, reach your hand up. You can either hold here if you want to try a challenge. You can see if you can clasp your foot, push through the foot. Nice. And then see if you can gently, woo, come down into your warrior two pose. Nice. Then pinwheel your hands onto the mat on either side of the front foot. Step back to downward dog. Push your hips high. Inhale forward to a plank. Exhale, lower down. Point your toes, draw the belly in. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, push your hips high in downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg straight behind you. Exhale, drop forward into a lunge. Bring your hands up onto your knee. Draw the belly in and inhale, come up. Bring your arms up overhead. Roll the shoulders down your back. Draw the navel in, lengthen the tailbone down towards the heel behind you. So instead of going way into the lunge here, for a stretch, we're working on strengthening here, drawing the feet together. The hips are buoyant. Exhale, reach back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. And then this time, spin the right foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Again, line up the arch and the heel. Draw the feet together. Tone the belly. Lengthen the spine. Bring the hands over each leg. And then on your exhale, lower the hand down. Inhale, circle it up. Exhale down. Inhale, circle it up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, take your right hand on your thigh. Bring your left one up. Look up at your palm and roll your shoulders down your back. Take a nice big breath into the left side body. And then inhale up. Bring your elbow onto your knee. Stack your shoulders. Reach through the right side. Ground down that right foot. Tone the belly. Lengthen through the crown of the head and the fingertips. Breathing here. And then inhale, come up. Straighten your front leg and turn your knee towards your toes. Put a little more pressure on the ball of your foot than your heel. So you'll see that instead of having a locked knee, just slightly bent. And reach forward and tilt your hand down. Stack that right hand over your shoulder. Roll the shoulders down your back. Tone the belly. Reach the head away from the hips. Breathing here in Trikonasana, triangle pose. And then bend the knee. Bring your right hand onto your hip. Shift your weight forward. Again, you can bring your hand on the block. You could use a chair. You can bring your hand onto the floor. Turn your gaze to the side. Focus on something that's not moving. Draw your belly in and push into your heel. Reach through the right leg out the crown of your head. Try to stack your hips. Raise the right hand up. Pause here for a few breaths. If you'd like, you can try to clasp your foot. And when you get it, push into the foot. Draw the belly in. And then see if you can lower down. Come back out of it. And then pinwheel your hand onto either side of your front foot. Step back to downward dog. Pedal out your feet a little bit here. Draw the shoulders down your back. Ground your hands into the floor. Think of turning the eyes of the elbows forward. The inside of the elbows forward. And then inhale to a plank. Exhale, lower down. Point your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Push your hips high into downward dog. And then look forward to your hands and either step walk or hop your feet forward. Ground down your feet on your exhale. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale the heart center. Inhale arms up. Exhale forward fold. Inhale. Step the right leg back into a lunge and lower your knee onto the mat. And then bring your hands up onto your knee. Lift your hips a little, tone the belly so you're lengthening the low back, protecting it. Let yourself sink into the lunge. Breathing here. Be tall through the crown of your head, shoulders down your back. And then bring your hands hands onto the mat, or again, this is where you could use blocks on either side if you like. Shift the hips back so that they're over the knee, and draw the toes back and try to draw this left hip back. Draw the toes back and then tone the belly, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then bend the front knee, come forward again. Keep your right hand on the floor, or you could use a block here, lengthening, and then reach your hand back behind you and bring your foot up into your hand. Now, if that doesn't want to come up easily, you can also wrap a strap around it and pull it up. If you hold it here, you might get a cramp in that hamstring, and then breathe into it. Think of lengthening here. Nice. And then release. Move the block aside, step back to downward dog, pedal out your feet, step your right foot forward, lower the left knee onto the mat, flatten the foot, bring the hands onto the knee, and come up. Lift the hips a little, draw the belly in, lengthen the low back, let yourself sink into the lunge, opening up the hip flexors. And then bring your hands onto the mat. Again, you could use blocks here. Shift the hips back over the knee and lift the toes. Draw the toes back, lengthen through the crown of the head. So you don't have to come way forward here. Even just toning the belly and lengthening through the crown of the head is going to help open up the back of the leg. Bend the knee, take your left hand onto the mat, and or you can bring it up onto a block, your choice. And then inhale, bring the right arm back. So you're opening up that shoulder, and then bring the foot up into your hand. Roll your shoulder down your back, look over your shoulder if that feels good, breathing here. And then release. Now, if grabbing your foot is difficult, you can also just do this stretch here, bringing your hand onto your hip and looking over the shoulder. You don't need to grasp the foot. Come on to the hands and knees and do a few hip circles. Exhaling down, inhaling up, stretching out the low back. And then reverse directions. And then come over onto your back. Lay yourself long on your mat. Bend your right knee, place your right foot on top of your left knee and your left hand on top of the right knee. Inhale, think of lengthening from the heel through the crown of your head. And on your exhale, pull the knee over to the side. And then inhale, draw up the right arm. And exhale, bring it out at like a 45-degree angle. Turn your gaze towards the right. And then take that right hip and see if you can stretch it away from the rib cage. Just a little bit, but just kind of allow gravity to pull you into the stretch here. You don't have to work hard in this one. Just enjoy the lengthening of the spine. And then inhale back up. And then switch sides. So stretch out the right knee, bend the left leg, place the foot onto the right knee, take the right hand on top of the left knee. Inhale, first lengthen. Exhale, pull the knee over to the side. The hip can roll off the floor. Inhale, draw the left arm up overhead. And then exhale, reach it out at like a 45-degree angle and turn your head towards it. And then see if you can lengthen the hip away from the rib cage on top. Breathing into the side body. Allowing gravity to pull you into the twist. And then release, come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Rock yourself back and forth. And lay yourself long on your mat. You can find your way into Shavasana however you like. But I tend to enjoy squeezing the hands and feet for a moment, flexing the fingers and toes, rolling the ankles and wrists around. Release the hands and feet. Ground down the arms and legs for a moment into the floor and release them and relax them and adjust them to find that comfortable position. Adjust your hips and shoulders and spine. Feel free to put something under your legs. Take a nice big deep inhale. And a cleansing exhale. Swallow once or twice. And gently rock your head side to side. And then squeeze your face tight like you've just sucked on something sour. And then open your mouth wide, stretch your jaw, lift your eyebrows, and stick out your tongue on your exhale. And then let yourself settle into your Shavasana. If your mind gets distracted while in Shavasana, you can count your breaths up to 10 and then start again. Sometimes that can help us relax. And I recommend staying in Shavasana for a minimum of 10 to 20 breaths if you don't have a lot of time, or up to 5 minutes if you have plenty of time that day that you're practicing. When you're done, you can bend your knees, slowly roll over to your right side, take a few breaths, and then slowly work your way up to a seated position. So this is one of the practices that I like to do pretty regularly. It's short and quick and kind of stretches out all different parts of your body. I hope that you enjoyed practicing with me today. Namaste.